Hello and welcome to Guild Guide, a show where we're going to explore what's new on Dungeon Masters Guild. I'll be your host, William Bosley. All right. So, right off the bat, we're starting strong again. And I do these, by the way, in chronological order. This is the first one that released yesterday, probably in the middle of the night or something. It's called It's a Long Way to the Bottom by Jeremy Huggins. It's a $2 PDF, $3 PDF. Yeah. So this one's based in Waterdeep, but it has been built. It seems like to give you the ability to adapt it to other settings and things like that. It's designed for 9th to 11th level characters. It's optimized for 10th level characters. It says things like that. But I would like to point out though that this is pretty like this cover before we even get into it is amazing. Like it looks so great. I'm blown away by it. The use of the way these teas come down like this, it's just amazing. That use of that is amazing. But yeah, this one is pretty great. It doesn't follow the format of like using both columns the whole time. Most of the time, it actually uses the right column here to not to give like additional information, and it has a lot of notes to help you get through this easier. It also has great art that seems to be original. I don't think I've ever seen it before, so I do believe this is all original art for this supplement. um, as for the plot, I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil things. That's what I do here. I don't want to spoil any plots, but I can tell you that it's a great little. I think it's a one shot. I think it's intended to be a one shot. But basically, it seems like it's or it could be a three-part adventure. I'm not totally certain. I know I run adventures slow. I tend to embellish on them and let my players talk a lot. So, I mean, this one may take me 3 sessions. I don't really know, but yeah. And it comes with the stat blocks you'll need and everything, including maps. These are a very straightforward, simple design. But with great, it's got everything you need on it and everything like that. They even have these handouts and everything. It really does look fantastic, including magic items, by the way, at the end. These are I was looking at them. They all seem pretty cool. There's 5 of them here, and they seem great. But yeah, this is a great supplement. I would definitely say. I mean, it's 19 pages, and 15 pages at 20 cents per page is, I believe, $3. And so uh, 19 pages for $3, including magic items and stat blocks and all sorts of things like that. Even if you buy this and never end up having time to run it, you still have all these stat blocks that you can pull from, and things like that. And by the way, Jeremy has put every single one of the 19 pages available for you to preview. So if you want to come in here and take a look and see if you really want to run this, you can, which I think is great. There are a lot of times where they won't put a preview at all, or they'll put basically just like a couple pages, maybe not enough, maybe barely enough to make the decision. But this allows you to fully make an informed decision. And the thing about that is that like nobody, I mean, who's able to pull from this? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of who's going to use this, you know what I mean, to run the adventure themselves. I don't think anyone will, but anyway. So you got this one's a Fantasy Grounds release, and it is of this previous release that came out in 2016. This is a sort of a classic on here. As you can see, 46 ratings. Not everybody rates these things. Usually it's only like, my best supplement is like 44 downloads, and it has like 2 ratings. I mean, my most downloaded supplement, not best, but so for 46 ratings, that's got to be a lot of downloads. And that's at $6. I don't know if it's ever gone up or down, but $6 for 103 pages is pretty great. And you're getting the same supplement here for Fantasy Grounds. And it's by the way, Rob Toohey is the one who is, and I think Liam McGregor might have been part of Rob Toohey's team, but I'm not 100% certain there. Raphael Fiati is the original creator, but Rob Toohey and I think Liam McGregor are the two that translated to Fantasy Grounds. But again, I don't know for sure. I just know for sure that it's Rob Toohey that does that, and that he has a team of people. So that's my assumption there. But yeah, this supplement, yeah, like I said, great. It looks great. Whenever you come in here, you got all this stuff. I mean, it's a very long one. It seems like, and one of the things I like about it is that every single page has a mark at the top to tell you exactly what you're looking at. So this adventure will not get mixed up. You won't have to go looking for page numbers to get them back in order and stuff like that. You can take out sections and know exactly what they are. And as you can see coming down here, by the way, the art is fantastic as well. But if you come down here to, let's see, it looks like they're all CGI or something like that, like they're computer generated, and then they've got textures put onto them that are really cool, almost have a swirl to them. Anyway, sorry, I'm gushing over art. So like here, page 1, and then page 2, and page 3, and I think down here it'll even say whenever it has more room on some of these. I think it says like 2 of 2 and things like that down below. Yeah, here we go. Page 2 of 3. Here you go. Random encounters, roads. So this thing has got everything you'll need to run this stuff. It looks like the creator has gone into extra detail, I think is what it was. I think this is the person who has been very highly regarded for basically going into way more detail than necessary, but giving you all the tools you need to go and explore the whole thing, so that your dungeon master can sort of go in other directions and things like that, and homebrew things into it. But yeah, here's where they're talking about it becoming a Fantasy Grounds release. And then this is another one by the same creator. This one's $3 as well. This one's only 56 pages, but that's $3 for 103. Or I mean, $6. Or what was it? Hold on. Yeah, $6 for 103 pages is crazy. You know, I mean, an official book. Some of them are only a little over 100. But yeah, this one has also been turned into a Fantasy Grounds for 450, and that one is yeah, this one is equally highly regarded. It only has the 4 ratings on this one, but looking around the internet, it looks like it's pretty well regarded the same. Let's see, that one is August 6th, and this one was July 9th. So, yeah, so you know which one came first. And this one, yeah, these seem fantastic for longer term campaigns. If you're looking for a one shot, maybe that's not for you, but yeah, they are definitely longer term campaigns. And this is also great is that if you get them all together, it gets pretty expensive. Um, and they've created a bundle here that's only $11.55. So if you do want to get both of them, you know you can. This is specifically the Fantasy Grounds bundle. I believe there may be a bundle. I think there's a bundle for the non-Fantasy Grounds versions as well. But yeah, and that actually comes with an additional one, the Food Shaman class, which is interesting. I I didn't really get to look too closely into that, but the concept seems a little unusual. So, Morgenstern's Guide to Alchemy. This one is by Austin Burris. And this one is really cool. It's part of a series that Austin appears to have started. This one's Guide to Permanence. Unfortunately, I missed that one when it was new, but I'm going to cover this one. It's 13 pages. Pay what you want, so you can try it out first. If you like it, if your party decides to start using it, then you can come back and throw money at them and let them, get something from it. But basically, in here, it's basically like it replaces how to make potions from the main game, or maybe it's used in addition to, really, because you don't get the same potions as what's in there. And I think that is what it says. It says it's supposed to be used in addition to the potions that already exist, and how to create them. But these are really interesting. It's alchemical potions. My bad. So yeah, and they've got alchemical oil, alchemical grenades, and essentially what you're doing with this is, just to give you an idea, is that you are imbuing a spell into a potion or oil or a grenade or an alchemical substitution. And basically, what that means is that you are able to what you're able to do is like this one is okay, hold on, let's see. This is the spell. This is the alchemy spell. This is how you imbue a spell into the potion itself. And I believe there's some way of gathering materials. from creatures. But anyway, so you've got lesser art, acid grenade, fireball grenades and poisons, blind orbs, alchemical potions, burning hands, food preservative, and it'll actually give you the spell. See, spell first level minor illusion, and that gives you a minor illusion spell. This one's first level prestidigitation, food preservative. So like it seems very well done. I didn't see too much broken in here. You sometimes whenever you have a big list, every now and then you have a broken spell or something like that, and this one doesn't seem to be the case. And because it's a good method because it uses spell slots to sort of limit, and then the spells you're putting into them to limit what you're capable of based on your level. So you don't have first level players getting the most powerful poison in the game. You don't have, and then whenever you're 20th level characters, you've got better spells and you can put them into potions and poisons and things like that. So it really is a good way to balance that and make it to where the players actually have direct control. You don't just say, well, Dungeon Master, I would like to try this, and then the Dungeon Master tries it and then has to come up with an explanation of what it is that you've just created or something to that effect, or pull it from the book or something like that. They've got a much more direct idea of what they're probably imbuing into it, and then they can look at the list to know exactly what they're imbuing into it. You imbue a fireball spell in there, you kind of know what you're going to get, sort of. But yeah, so that one was really cool to me. That got my attention there. This one over here is I forget what this one is. It's permanence, and I feel like I should mention it just because it's similar. It's so similar, and it's in the same series. Crafting rules in 5th edition. Yeah, basically, yeah, it's about making them. You actually be able to craft spell permanence based off spell of the same name from earlier editions. Yeah. Anyway, that one's not new. It would be unfair for me to go into it in significant detail. But I will say that based on this, I would take a look at some of their older stuff. That looked really good. This one is The Elemental Gate by Max McDonald. Now, this is 2 pages. It's only 61 cents. Or it's well, it's yeah, it's a PDF for exactly 61 cents. I assume, as I have in the past, that is probably from another currency that whenever I went to the web page, it showed up as American dollar. So that's what you got there. The Elemental Gate is what this one is called, and it is a very short 1-page one shot that you can just toss into, and it's got nice little handouts that you can actually cut out, little card-based handouts that you can hand out to your players and things like that. Its length 3 to 4 hours, level 1 to 2, very low level, good intro campaign. It seems very well done, and it's your basic intro campaign. That's what it looks like, intro adventure rather. Sorry, but yeah, Max McDonald, and it's 61 cents. It's pretty good. Over here, you got the College of Bards. It's got 2 subclasses: College of Song and College of, I believe, Strings. Strings, yes. And it does not, unfortunately, have the College of Strings in the preview. It's only 50 cents, but with the current, you know, uh, virus going around and my current job situation, I can't even throw 50 cents of things, or else I have to throw it at all of them, and then the channel would start soaking up all my money. So basically, we got the College of Song, which is really cool. It seems it's basically you get this ability to throw sort of like a music that deals damage. Like you can create, I think by default, it uses deals thunder damage with this attack. It's a ranged attack, special attack. One thing I was confused about here that needs to probably be ruled by you as the DM, or the creator needs to come back and tweak it a little bit with a little update, is that it doesn't specify if this is magic damage or not. And since we don't have a anyone to tweet at to ask about this except for the original creator, maybe that makes it a little bit confusing. But basically, yeah, if it's magic damage, then there are magical resistances and things like that. If it's not, then it's a very unique situation where it deals things like fire damage and ice damage and electricity, or it's basic thunder, and these deal special abilities as well. I believe these use yeah, if you use a bardic inspiration, if you expend 1 bardic inspiration, die basically, then you can turn this basic damage into one of these other abilities, which honestly sounds really cool. It's like a little upgrade to your ability, and since you're going to be using those to inspire your allies, you're not going to get to do that a whole lot unless you're really greedy, in which case you might be doing it all the time. But yeah, and then it's got some other abilities that sort of upgrade that and things like that. You add two additional dice instead to the yeah. Basically, you can add damage dice and then two additional dice and things like that as you level up. And then later on, you gain the ability additional arts that unlock Radiant Run and Deathly Dissonance, which are slightly more powerful powers. See, because these, I don't believe these upgrade at all. Well, at 14th level, yeah, actually, yeah, these say they upgrade, but it's not like a major upgrade. But these down here have a major mechanical upgrade too. What these do, so you can kind of rely on the older ones whenever you need to, or you can go to the new ones. Otherwise, it just seems very cool in general. But unfortunately, I don't know anything about the College of Strings. But for 50 cents, that one's good. If you like the idea, that one's good, and it just encourages players to use their instrument instead of a sword or lightning or what have you. And so that's interesting to me, which is the entire point, by the way. That's what it says in the description down here. Is that that was the point, was to make it to where people use their instruments more. So I don't think I said it yet, but that is Alexander Jaraway. It's 50 cents. Bard College's College of Strings and Song. But yeah, for 3 pages to get these 2 Bard subclasses, 50 cents is nothing. So, I mean, you might as well. This one is a 5e pirate class. I really like the idea of this one. It kind of feels like a bit of a background combined with a class. Perhaps if they had named it something like the Mariner or something like that, then they could. I think maybe that already existed. Maybe that's why they didn't, but I don't really remember. But there's a, basically, this one is pay what you want and only previews. Like if you got pay what you want, people are going to download it and take a look at it. You might as well put a preview that shows the entire supplement, like for real. There's no difference. They're going to get it for free anyway. So that makes it a lot easier so they don't have to download it, go into the PDF, look at it, all that kind of stuff. I guess you're tricking the system in that way because you're getting to where people will download it. And then now you've got more purchases and you can get closer to bronze and silver and gold or whatever the different selling points are. And you got it through me because that's what happened here. I had to look at more. So I can see why you might do that. But I don't know if aggravating your customer right off the bat is going to make them want to come back and throw money at you, even if they use it. But if they do, and that's my thing, if you use it, come back and throw money at them. Buy it again, throw money at them. They only, what is it, $1? Yeah, they request $1. I mean, come on, $1. If you liked it, at least come back and throw $1 at them. They're $2 for a class on D&D Beyond. So $1 is 50% off. So basically, it's a really cool class. I looking over it, I feel like as far as I can tell right off the bat, it feels a little bit on the more powerful side. Uh, I tend to notice that ocean-based characters, like sea-based characters, like the playable races and subclasses and things like that kind of go in that direction, tend to be a little bit more powerful. And I think that's because they have so much stuff that's based on being on the water. Like while on the water, you gain advantage on charisma checks. I think they basically meant that on a boat, by the way. There's few little words here. I think that if you were falling in the water and talking to people and you were like in the water, maybe that wouldn't gain that, but maybe you would. I don't know. But basically, there are a few little wording things there that if they had like 2 more words, it would be a little bit more clear and a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit better. But that's all. Like I highlighted a few of them. A few things like they were just in the wrong order, silly things like that aren't a problem. The creator, if the creator's watching, then these are things they can fix and create an update within like an hour or 2 of seeing the video. So it's nothing that should prevent anyone from buying this thing at all. I did notice with this one in particular that it doesn't say when the charm effect. Oh, it does say for 1 minute. I just overlooked it apparently. Yeah, it's charmed for 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, that was me. Then that was entirely me, and I can remove the that highlight, or if I know how. But yeah, so things like that were little wording things here and there that were just a little thing to me. This to me seems a little bit OP. At 20th level, your dexterity and charisma scores increase by 4 to a maximum of 24. I think that may be a bit much. You already have, it doesn't actually, if I remember correctly, there wasn't a thing that said, normally, you have a section that says ability score improvement, and it reminds you about them down here. But the only place where it mentions them is up here. And I guess you just assume, yeah, basically, yeah, you got them up here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ability score increases. It's okay to have nothing happen on a level up sometimes, or have a very minor thing that turns on a previously like okay ability into something really powerful. In this case, that's a lot of ability score improvements that kind of rivals like a fighter or something to that effect. It also seems to be that it borrows a couple of abilities from fighters, but basically this seems like a combination between a rogue and a fighter, and it seems really awesome for being on a high sea adventure. You've got Cursed Pirate, which can do all sorts of things involving cursing people, and it's really cool. And then you got Vikings, which are like, they've got proficiency both medium and armor and shield, so they get a little bit more militant in their abilities, and it's got great art in here, like really cool art. I like that style. It feels like a sort of cartoony style, but it feels like a style that's really evocative in its color schemes and things like that. But basically, yeah, you get these abilities, you get these different subclasses and stuff like that. But this one is pretty cool. In spite of, like, I would probably still let a player give this a try, and just to see if it is as overpowered as I think it may be. But yeah, it's not like not nothing to say it's bad at all. I would definitely give it a try, and if you have to do some tweaks, maybe let the creator know or something like that, and then come back and throw money at them because they gave you entertainment. I mean, you spend $1. If you spend $1 here, and you spend like $5 to go watch a movie or something like that, or $10 in 10 or 15 or $20 in theater nowadays, and and it's just for 2 hour entertainment. D&D can last like 9 hours in a row, and then you can have multiple sessions. I mean, come on, an hour, $1 to be tossed to these guys is nothing. Mike Cullingham. This one is the Arcana from the Genie Realms. This one is pretty cool. I think I heard something about this setting. It's built into being, I don't know anything about it, but I heard something about this setting being a little bit shaky. But I may be wrong there. That may be me just being dumb. But yeah, anyway, this supplement though is amazing because it's not really for it's built to work for that setting, but it's not that setting. So it's got Genie Soul, it's got Otherworldly Patron the Genie, and I know that they just did a Warlock of the Genie from Unearthed Arcana, and so does the creator. They mentioned that somewhere, I forget where. But this one is it's supposed to be flavored completely differently. It unfortunately doesn't have it in here, and because it costs money and I'm not able to toss money at the stream yet, I'm not able to see it, and because no one knows I exist. This may be one of those cases where I would have been comped yesterday whenever it released, and then a copy, and then I would have had a much better view of it. But what I can say is that what is in here, the Sorcerer's Origin Genie Soul, is very well balanced and very interesting, and it involves you have an element that you're associated with. So I guess kind of like a Genasi kind of idea. Um, but unlike the Genasi, but it works completely different. Basically, you can like absorb damage that matches that's associated with your element. Fire is the only one for fire, and I guess that's because fire is so common to be taking damage for. But basically, once you absorb it, you can then use that to transform to a genie form. You can use it. You've got an improved genie form eventually, and things like that. You get a limited wish. You get genie metamorphosis, which is a whole nother thing. Your genie form becomes permanent, and basically, eventually, you get wish granting at 18th level, which is like a full blown wish power. And except I think it doesn't count against your spells and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, it's a really cool idea here, and I would definitely let my players give that a try, and bring that to the table. These other features I don't know because it's not, you can't see it, but it is, yeah, the that first one is very promising for the rest of it. And for $1.49, I mean, that's not much. I mean, like I said, that's multiple subclasses for the price of one at D&D Beyond. So if you're trying to find something, if you're trying to find new stuff, you want to try something new, and you're just waiting for that next book to come out. In the meantime, you can throw very little money at this stuff. So 9 pages for $1.49. That's way cheaper than like I said, 20 cents per page is the usual wisdom. So I don't know if I said it's Mike Cullingham. I actually tweeted at him for this one, I think. I believe I did, for this particular episode. But yeah, let's see. Having loading issues. Okay. I wonder if that's solved or not. I didn't even notice that message. But let's see. Is it? It looks like it's working on my end here. Let me check the website real quick because I've got that open. And okay, it's a little lag behind, but it looks fairly smooth. So I assume that has been resolved or something. Anyway, yeah, so this one is Vault of the Warlock by E.R.F. Jordan. This one's $2.99, 7 pages. It's a collection of 22 magic items designed to enhance and mimic the abilities of warlocks. So as it says, it is exactly what it describes there. This is really cool stuff. These are items that are, since they're all flavored directly at warlocks, I'm not sure, like my game actually does have a player who crossed into Warlock, cross class into Warlock, and another player who almost cross classed into Warlock, and I think another player that almost did at one point. And it always because it's always because there's something, a really cool character, an NPC, a villain, or something like that, or just a really sketchy, powerful entity that is offering power to them, and they're considering taking it. And this one, this thing would be really cool to be able to toss, like you get an item, or you take on a warlock pact for a campaign specific thing, and then you get into it, and the player or the DM can then grant one of these items to them as well, and be like, this is something, a gift from your patron, or maybe you do a great deed for your patron, and then suddenly you wake up the next morning with this in your pocket, or it appears out of nowhere. Maybe if it was Ford from Critical Role, it would fall out of an extra dimensional, rift with water and everything like that, or they'd spit it out of their mouth. Obviously, that's old news now with Critical Role, but I don't want to spoil anything for newbies. So yeah, the point is that there's a lot of stuff in here that's really cool, and looking at what they have here, it's not broken or anything like that. It's very well done. And it always, like a lot of them, like the Blade of Retribution here. This blade, it grants you power to do Hellish Rebuke with a DC of 14. But if you are a pact weapon, if you're a warlock is attuned to this weapon, if in other words, it's their pact weapon. It doesn't specify it has to be. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't specify that you have to be of the warlock of the pact, or weapon pact warlock, or whatever it's called. But if you are tuned to it, if it's your weapon, then you use your own save, your warlock spell save DC instead of 14, so you can raise that up. So that's really cool in my opinion. This whole thing is very cool. You've got those things where it's in every single one of these. I'm pretty sure is enhanced if you are already a warlock, and that's really interesting. Yeah, that's Vault of the. Oh yeah, and the cover has really disturbing, a disturbing little brooch here that looks really. It's cool and yet very somewhat disturbing, and I like that. It looks very much like a warlock's item. This one is the First Time Dungeon Master screen reference sheets. It's $2 by Jordan Jones, and this one you can get a good look at what kind of stuff is on here. It seems to be everything a first time DM would need. They only have the first page, as a sample. Um, it's got all the dice to even tell you which die means what. So if you're a first time DM, or just a lot of this stuff for some reason just doesn't want to stick, then you could get this and just remind yourself a little bit better. I use the official one, and so far I've been okay with it. But there have been a few times whenever I've taken a post-it note and written something on it to stick to there. So, and I wonder if some of that's not in here because they also made it take up less space. Like the creature sizes on the on the official one is or the official ones in general tend to take up like a huge portion of the thing, and they seem to have made it compact and include a lot more information there than before. In addition to this, the same creator released a Dungeon Master's Power Collection. Now, I did not have time to go through all of this, unfortunately, but because it didn't release yesterday, so. But basically, it's stuff like Battle and Adventure Map, #1, Evil Worshippers Cave / Lair. Let's see, character sheet, player, helper, 3-ring binder, friendly. D&D 5e player character sheet. DM players, helper, combat reference, and cheat sheet. DM helper initiative order round count monster HP tracker sheet. Player and monster initiative tracking sheets. Battle map Dragon's Lair. Battle map the Lava Cave. Dungeon Master screen reference sheets, and first time Dungeon Master screen reference sheets. So yeah, it's okay. So apparently he's got some down here that are for a more seasoned DM, if you're more interested in that. But basically this bundle is only $10 for all of this kind of stuff. And it looks pretty nice. They've got good art, especially and that's not I don't think that's not stock art, is it? It is. It looks fantastic, and they did something to it about color scheme if it is stock art, but they don't say. But they made it grayscale if it is stock art. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's pretty great. And up next, we got the Archetypes of Luck. This one, unfortunately, is 6 pages with no preview. It costs $1. A collection of fortunate archetypes. So I think yesterday there was a luck-based sorcerer that, or not yesterday, day before yesterday. Yesterday I covered for Saturday a luck-based sorcerer. This one's Sorcerer's Origin Leprechaun Bloodline. I bet this is going to be very different because it's specifically Leprechaun. They're going to do a lot of stuff in there, that's going to be involving the mythical, entity of leprechauns. So I imagine that'll play out totally different from the other one. But I don't have a actual, I can't really see it. Even the, obviously this little one can see College of Luck, Luck Domain, but other than that, I can't even read it here. And I imagine on the screen over there, it's even smaller. So, but yeah, so it's got the College of Luck, the Luck Domain, Sorcerer's Origin, Leprechaun Bloodline, Warlock Patron, the Leprechaun. So that's interesting. But unfortunately, I don't know much more than that, other than what's in the description here. So, but yeah, it does seem very cool. And this, I'm not sure. Let's see. Do they have an artist credited? Nope. So I'm not sure about the art, but I'm wondering if that's not a photograph of one of them, of Samantha. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, it's Mark Ringer and Samantha. Oh, sorry, Renninger, I think is correct. Sorry, and Samantha Renninger. And it seems cool. It's got my attention, but I just feel like I wish there was a bit more of a preview to be able to tell what some of this stuff does. So this one unfortunately has no preview, and actually I think maybe it didn't have the description before, but it's Adam Tutkus, the Tang player race. And it's a new player race of minor eldritch monstrosities for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. It seems a little bit like maybe lighthearted, jokey, like comedic style, but not really sure. But beneath the hills of Elfkind, the hills of dwarves, deeper still, even in the jealously guarded tunnels of the Drow, there exists a small, jolly villages of the diminutive Fatang. Yeah, so it's going to be lighthearted, and it seems pretty cool. I feel like it's without being able to tell the actual mechanical stuff, the flavor of this seems to fit right alongside that. I forget what it's called, but the doll, the playable race. It's like a stuffed animal. It's really big right now, really popular, and for some reason the name's just not coming to me. But this is 4 pages for 50 cents. So even if that turns out to be, even if it turns out to be terrible, throwing 50 cents is not a big deal. You can go ahead and take a look and see what you think. But yeah, so that's going to be the last one here for today. But if basically, yeah, catch it tomorrow. That's going to be the stuff that I'll release today. And I'm also thinking about trying my hand at maybe after going down for a little bit today, coming back up and working on my own supplements, streaming live. I may not have the camera. I may just do the screen. And if that's the case, it may, that might be a little easier to read what I'm doing because I'll do a full screen version. But and I was thinking about doing that and just showing how I work. I don't know if that'll be interesting to anybody. But there were some shows that have done that in the past, and one really big one that went down, and I miss it. And I think that it would be great to do to at least try it myself, because I don't want to I think it'd be fun, and I think that seeing how I work, even if it's not better than anyone else, or even as good as anyone else, will inspire other people in how they want to create and how they want to work, and how what they want to do. And if that's the case, that would be worth it, I think. So if you are interested, it may be tonight, it may be tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow morning. I don't know yet. But if I do, I'll go down today and then I'll come back up later and I'll tweet about it. So if you go away and you just watch my Twitter, you'll get it. And then I might talk about that. I have an idea for a playable race, and I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks, and I've been meaning to start on it, and I just haven't yet. And it's inspired by the cartoon on Netflix called Kipo, and I like it. Anyway, so other than that, that's it for today. And basically, yeah, toss a coin to your witchers, to your creators on your DM's guild. They need support. If they don't have support, they'll stop doing it, and then you don't get access to their stuff anymore. It's very, very important that they get at least their 50 cents or a couple dollars or something to that effect. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.